It is said among the people that midnight is the hour when the Yin energy is at its heaviest. At this moment the gates of the underworld open, and 100 ghosts roam the night. If you haven't closed your doors and gone to bed by midnight, congratulations, you might just attract something unclean. The eeriness of this story surpasses your imagination. Leave a comment saying "Fear no taboos," and tag your friend from the compound who never sleeps to watch this together. This is a true supernatural tale from the 1960s, set in a northern mountain village. The protagonist of the story is Little Stone, who was 6 years old at the time. He lived with his grandparents, who ran a small eatery at the village entrance. Calling it a shop was generous, it was just 2 mud brick rooms, selling hot noodle soup and steamed buns. For travelers to rest their feet, no one could have foreseen that a stranger arriving on a rainy night would drag them into a chilling game of vengeful spirits. That afternoon, an old beggar in a tattered cotton jacket came to the shop. His hair was white, his face so dirty his features were unclear. He sat on the threshold, staring at Grandpa Stone with a grim expression. He said, "At midnight tonight, a vengeful ghost who died tragically will come to claim lives. Close the shop early." Before Grandpa Stone could ask more, the beggar hobbled away, leaning on his stick. Could the words of a beggar be trusted? Grandma Stone, wiping bowls, frowned. Grandpa Stone squatted by the door, smoking his pipe, tapping it against his shoe sole. "We've never done anything wrong in our lives," he said. "But just in case." The old folks said beggars have sharp eyes and can see unclean things. Close early tonight. By 10 p.m., Grandpa Stone was about to board up the shop when a man pushed the door open. He was about 30, with a square face, wearing faded work clothes, his pant legs caked with yellow mud, limping as if he'd crawled out of a muddy pit. "Uncle, sorry to bother you. Can I get a bowl of noodles?" The man's voice was hoarse. "I'm from out of town, here to visit my wife's grave for Qingming. Haven't eaten all day. I need to head back tonight." Grandpa Stone hesitated, glancing at Grandma Stone. Grandma Stone asked, "Where's your wife? Why isn't she with you?" The man grinned, showing 2 rows of white teeth. "She's up on the hill, talking to her dad. I came down first. Maybe you'll know her when she gets here. Lots of girls from this village married out in recent years." Seeing the man's honest demeanor, Grandpa Stone softened. "All right, 2 bowls of noodles, 1 for your wife." "Thank you, Uncle," the man said cheerfully. Grandpa Stone went to the back kitchen and soon brought out 2 steaming bowls of noodle soup, sprinkled with green onions wafting with heat. Grandma Stone glanced at the wall clock. The minute hand pointed to 10:35. She leaned toward Grandpa Stone and whispered, "We must close by 11. Don't forget the beggar's warning." Grandpa Stone nodded, but before he could respond, a loud boom echoed outside. Dark clouds hung low, and raindrops began pelting the roof. A big rain was coming. "Young man, your wife hasn't come back yet? The mountain roads are bad in the rain," Grandpa Stone said, concerned. The man brushed it off. "No worries, she grew up in the mountains, she knows her way." Just then, a flash of lightning lit up the night sky, illuminating the room like daylight. Little Stone instinctively looked at the floor, and suddenly grabbed Grandma Stone's arm, his nails digging into her skin. The man had no shadow. The village elders had said, "Only ghosts cast no shadow." Little Stone was too scared to speak. He'd heard from his grandma that ghosts have sharp ears. If they realized you'd seen through them, they'd harm you immediately. Grandma Stone, wincing from the pinch, was about to scold him when the man turned to look at them. His eyes were strange. His black pupils were unnaturally large, filling almost his entire eye sockets, with barely any white. He didn't look alive. "How old's your grandson?" the man asked with a smile, but his tone was cold, emotionless. 6, Grandpa Stone said with a forced laugh, feeling uneasy himself. "Same age as my daughter," the man said, then lowered his head to slurp his noodles. The slurp-slurp sound stood out eerily against the rain. The rain grew heavier, thunder rumbling non-stop. The man glanced outside, muttering anxiously, "Why hasn't she come yet? It'll be too late if she doesn't get here soon." Grandma Stone checked the clock again, 10:50. She tugged at Grandpa Stone's sleeve. Old man, close the shop. It'll be too late soon. With this rain we can't kick him out, Grandpa Stone replied. Just then, a cold gust slipped through the door crack, chilling them to the bone. Suddenly the sound of footsteps, asterisk tap 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 asterisk, came from outside. A woman, leading a little girl in a red dress, walked in. The woman's face was deathly pale, without a trace of color. Her wet hair plastered to her face. Her clothes were so soaked they dripped water, and the puddles on the floor were murky and black. The little girl's eyes darted around aimlessly, her hands behind her back. She didn't cry or fuss. Like a lifeless puppet. You're finally here. The noodles are cold, the man said, standing to take the girl in his arms. The woman gave a dry laugh. The mountain roads are tough, got delayed. Grandma Stone stared at the woman, feeling a spark of recognition. Suddenly it hit her. You're Xiuji, Blind Chen's daughter. Xiuji was the first girl from the village to marry out, and she hadn't been back in 7 or 8 years. Xiuji nodded, her eyes cold. Auntie, you still remember me. This is my husband, Da Kuang. He works on construction sites. This is my daughter, Xiaoyan. Her eyes were damaged by a high fever a few years ago. She can't see anything. Little Stone stared at Xiaoyan's red dress, his heart pounding. The red was so vivid it looked blood-stained. Xiaoyan's face was deathly pale, like she'd been soaking in water for days. Grandma Stone sighed, about to speak, when a boom of thunder shook the room. The clock's hands pointed to 11:30. Old man, we have to close now, Grandma Stone urged, frantic. The beggar said a vengeful ghost comes at midnight. Xiuji's smile froze, her face expressionless. If you've done no wrong, you've no need to fear ghosts knocking. Grandma Stone bristled. Xiuji, what's that supposed to mean? We've never done anything wrong. Xiuji didn't respond. Grandma Stone grabbed an umbrella and 2 dry outfits. Take the umbrella and go. Change into these on the way. To everyone's surprise, Xiuji dropped to her knees with a thud, crying, Auntie, the rain's too heavy. The mountain roads are slippery. Please let us stay the night. If there's really a ghost, we can help. There's strength in numbers. Grandpa Stone hesitated. Years ago when Blind Chen died, his land was divided by the village, and this shop was built on his old house. He tugged at Grandma Stone's sleeve. Maybe let them stay one night. If something happens, they can lend a hand. Grandma Stone paused, then nodded. The moment Grandpa Stone shut the door, a man's voice called from outside. Brother, come out quick. There's a vengeful ghost in your shop. Here to find substitutes. The room's lamp began to flicker, light and shadow dancing across Xiuji's family. Half their faces were lit, half in darkness, exuding an indescribable eeriness. Little Stone hid behind Grandma Stone, trembling. Grandma Stone was shaking too. Old man, they have no shadows. I saw it during the lightning. Grandpa Stone's forehead beaded with sweat. Before he could speak, the voice outside shouted again. Brother, it's me, Chandafu. Run for your lives. Chandafu. Grandpa Stone's heart sank. Chandafu was the village bachelor, killed years ago by a car at the village entrance. His body mangled. Grandpa Stone had paid for his coffin and burial. Dafu, how are you back? Grandpa Stone's voice trembled. The ones burned to death in that car were Xiuji's family of 3. Chandafu's voice was urgent. Ghosts who die violently need 3 substitutes to reincarnate. You're exactly 3. Open the door and run, midnight's almost here. Another boom of thunder. Little Stone suddenly saw Xiuji standing at the stairwell, her eyes glowing red, staring at them like a vengeful spirit. Xiuji slowly descended, a fake smile plastered on her face. Auntie, any more noodle soup? Xiaoyan's hungry. Grandma Stone was too scared to speak. Grandpa Stone stepped in front. Xiuji, every grudge has its source. This house was given by the village, not stolen by us. Please spare us. Xiuji said nothing. Da Kuang, holding Xiaoyan, came downstairs too. Xiaoyan suddenly giggled at Little Stone, her sharp laughter chilling to the bone. It's midnight. Grandma Stone screamed, pointing at the clock. Grandpa Stone rushed to open the door, but the key slipped from his hand. Suddenly Xiaoji shouted, "Daquang, get the rooster blood!" Daquang ran over with a bowl of fresh red rooster blood and splashed it on the door. Black smoke instantly rose from the wood, the blood dripping down. "You're possessed," Xiaoji said, pointing at the clock. "It's only 11:50. Grandpa Stone looked. Sure enough, the minute hand was 10 minutes shy of midnight. Xiaoji stepped under the lamp, her shadow clearly visible on the floor. "I'm alive. What you saw was a ghost trick. The vengeful spirit outside was trying to lure you to open the door." Grandma Stone collapsed into a chair, her clothes soaked with cold sweat. "Then what about Chandafu?" Xiaoji's eyes darkened, but she said nothing, just stared out at the pouring rain. The thunder continued to rumble, but the lamp in the room finally stopped flickering. Little Stone clung to Grandma Stone's hand, his heart still racing. The man with no shadow, Xiaoyan's eerie laughter in her red dress, were they real, or just the ghost's illusion? To this day he still doesn't know.